Justice Walk. We're starting at the Mason Square greenery between State and Wilbraham Road. Okay, so make sure you all come out. It's going to start at 11 o'clock, and we're marching down to the City Hall steps. It's going to take place from 12 until 4 o'clock. We have guest speakers coming in. Brothers, you don't want to miss this. Okay, you're always talking about what's not being done. Okay, come be a part of this movement, because once again, it's not going to, the real work is going to start after 10, 15, it's going to have to be 10, 11.
They wanna read my mind, but I redefine what they consider delivery. I lead the time. You watch and wonder. This lightning, I'm chocolate thunder. Breaking backboards, I'm back for the black pour under the poverty level. They tired and worn, living in fear. They own home. See how they pride is torn. Bullet holes in the windows and sides is shown like a museum exhibit. You seeing just how they live it, bare bones, surviving off the scraps alone. If there was more for them to take, make no mistake, it'd be gone. But the only thing is no thing for no one. I'm looking at it like, come on now, I'm so done putting these words together, and it just don't measure up. Fill it up, still thirsty for another cup. Fill it up, get closer to the essence of life. Expand your mind from the lessons I write. Get closer.
Same enthusiasm and coming out when it comes into injustice, because at the end of the day, the Caribbean Stone Soul Indie Soul Festival is once a year, 1 week in a year. We go through these injustices every day. So you need to come out and there's gonna be, and also talk a little bit more about this. There's gonna be vendors. There's gonna be what else is gonna be happening?
Spirits lifted, like I was at the bar saying cheers. I lifted for those behind bars paying years. Lift it up for the old and graying hairs on the beard of a man with no fear that his end is near. Envision this, transition is nothing compared to the tribulations of living in good health. Be risen and take the time to listen to the essence. Get closer to it. Do it like you were supposed to do it, and stop following the poster platform. You're stuck in the sand with the rest of the anthem. Break the glass, let the bell ring, fire alarm, rain down, sprinklers on. No eye of the storm, just like when I perform. They all wet from the energy that's radiating out in front of me. I doubt there's gonna be another one who gives you a dose of what I give you, gon' get you closer.
This is Swingfield. It's a story of people trying to make their way in life and trying to get ahead.
Really just keep health impacts in mind when we're doing new building assessments and new building projects, to keep something like Arena happening again, or the new Brookings School was built right on a major roadway. Actually, they're looking to expand that roadway, and these kids are being exposed to lots of pollutants. Our asthma rates are really high. About 1 in 5 Springfield residents have asthma, which is higher than the state rates, higher than the national rates. And so we've been working on this for about 2 years. The city's applying for a big resiliency grant to make us more resilient in the face of disasters like the tornado, like the big snowstorm that happened in October. And so the opportunity has come up where they realize that they need us now, because as part of the grant application, they need to have a climate action plan as part of that, not only to make us more resilient, but to prevent these things from happening in the first place, because that's where the big national movement is really moving in that direction. And so we're having it on the 24th at City Hall, 11:30 to 12:30. It's going to be a family-friendly event. We're going to have face paint. There's going to be speakers. We're going to be having singers and musical performers. We're going to hopefully have representative from the city to be there and show their support in this. And we're really just looking for the community to come out and show that we care about our air quality, we care about our public health.
And we find that life is more abundant than we could ever dream or imagine.
And finally, Elder Joseph C. Strickland,
And we ask God that
my cousin, on fire for the Lord.
God, give us that peaceable proof.
Elder has a Bible study that is held every Wednesday from 4:30 to 6:30. A lot goes on in that Bible study. A lot of word goes forth, a lot of knowledge, a lot of reasoning.
Open up your word.
Elders' great concern is the doctrine that's being taught in Christianity today. Elder endeavors to teach the word truth by truth, line by line, in his own unique way.
Chapter 18.
Take a look.
Verses 1, 2, and 3. Read. At the same time came the disciples unto Jesus, saying, Who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? And Jesus called a little child unto him, and set him in the midst of them, and said, Verily I say unto you, except you be converted, and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven.
When you're baptized into Christ, into his body, in the body of believers, you're a brand new creature.
That's right.
That's a new man.
Amen.
And I don't care what the flesh does,
Amen.
right? The sin of the flesh is condemned to the flesh. It never reaches the spirit.
Awesome.
The spirit is sealed until the day of redemption. Right? So none of the sins of the flesh ever reach that spirit. That spirit man, that born again man, he's without spot, he's without blemish, and he's just like Christ.
Just like Christ.
Huh?
Understand that.
Right? So because the flesh don't submit, the flesh cannot submit.
Or affectionately called Nan. She's my favorite. Nan works for New England Business Associates, or NEBA, as the marketing coordinator. Nan has dreams of opening her own marketing company.
They wanna read my mind, but I redefine what they consider delivery. I lead the time. You watch and wonder. This lightning, I'm chocolate thunder. Breaking backboards, I'm back for the black pour under the poverty level. They tired and worn, living in fear. They own home. See how they pride is torn. Bullet holes in the windows and sides is shown like a museum.
It's great to be with you today for NEBA, an outstanding organization, does great work for the city of Springfield, workforce development. I have the honor and privilege of strutting down that fashion red carpet in the fashion show, the FAB fashion show for NEBA. I hope to see you there. I expect to see you there to support this great organization.
Beautiful. That's one take one. Unless you want to do it again.
No, I think we're good. Is that good?
Yeah, we're good.
You sure?
Primarily a camera person. That's my thing in films, like camera department, cinematographer type stuff. You know, if you're in this business instead of producing shows, you're requiring talent and crew. I guess you become more of the producer type.
Cinematographer Clint Ford, my partner. Clint aspires to be a Hollywood cinematographer. He's very smart, meticulous, and very good at what he does. Clint's on his first film. He wants to bring Hollywood back to Springfield.
Do you enjoy what you're doing, or do you look at it as a job where you got to really be, on top of everything? I mean, is it like a hobby or is it like a job to you? How do you look at it?
Yeah, it's definitely not a hobby.
Okay.
It's definitely not a hobby, that's
All
for
right.
sure. Yeah, I definitely study the craft, and I see it more as a job too, because when you're not working on movies, what are you going to do? You might as well, do something that you can be good at. So, That's what I'm here doing, you know.
Clint and his crew continue on with their movie. Shooting for the second day, Clint Port and his crew find that shooting a movie isn't all that easy.
Yeah, I taught these guys everything they know.
We're going to have some fun, but
I just want to go on the record that my barber retired, so it's soft, right?
Yeah, it's
the hair. Retired barber. Okay. Yeah. He's got big hair, man.
Paul, the purpose of the march was for black men to come and atone for not being the man, the husband, the father that we were supposed to be. And with that, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan asked for 1 million to come. 2 million showed. Plus many of our sisters. He asked for our sisters to keep our children out of school. We didn't go there on a weekend. We went there on a weekday. So that means we missed work. Because we wanted to take responsibility for our actions. So when you ask what came out of it, there have been many men who have became better after attending the Mean Man March.
You picked the wording up, Brother Johnny. He said 10,000 fearless warriors. He didn't say 10,000 Muslims. He didn't say 10,000 Christians.
That's right.
He didn't say 10,000 Asians. He didn't say 10. He said 10,000 fearless warriors. So regardless of what color you are and who you are, he wanted people to step up and come in between of what's going on in the community. That's what he said.
How difficult was it for you and I to come together at the table and come to this reasonable conclusion?
It wasn't difficult at all. I mean, you know, many years ago, when I participated in the Million Man March 20 years ago, there was a lot of conversation throughout the community about whether Christians should get involved in a march that was being called and led by Minister Farrakhan from the Nation of Islam. And they got caught up in the differences in people's religion. And I looked at it from the standpoint of when black men and women are getting brutalized by the police, they don't care what religion you are. Right. When we're being discriminated against in the workplace and in housing, when we're being redlined by the banks, they don't ask you if you're Jewish, Christian, Muslim, Baha'i, or anything. They look at the color of your skin, and you're all the same. And so it was a no-brainer to me whether or not I should participate in the Million Man March. So we went to D.C., participated in that march, and when we came back here, we got together, Muslims, Christians, Jews. We formed the Million Man March Committee. I actually chaired the Million Man March Committee. And we did a lot of good things in our city. Turned a lot of things around. We set the stage for some of the things that are the progress that has been made to this day. So when it comes to fighting for what's in the best interest of our people, we draw two circles, and where they intersect, where we come together, where we share those concerns, we can always get together, and then we can go back to our own silos and do what we do theologically and religiously.
Okay, they came back to their respective cities and communities. At that particular time, right after the march, the adoption rate of black children went up.
Right.
If you look back to what happened in the black community, crime went down, and it wasn't because of community policing. It was because black men went back to the community and took charge of their community and had conflict resolution, because we can go in and out of our city, Brother Andrew, and we can say, listen, young brother, there's a better way. And we can educate them on a better way. We got to call a caller on the air.
justice too, right, brother? Yes, sir. All right. So, man, why'd you here?
The justice.
Justice? Black Lives Matter? Hello? Yes, sir. Black Lives Matter, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, my man. Thank you. Why'd you here, Dad?
Justice. Freedom or death. Black power.
All right, sir. Why'd you here? Why am I here? Because this is our home. You know what I'm saying? This is our home. We were indigenous to this land, so we should be able to have not only equal rights, but since we are we should have the top status in this land, and we're not. You know what I'm saying? We're the lowest caste in this land. So this colonial oppression has to end at some time, and we're trying to do our part to make sure it does. Yes.
I'm here to help my other brothers awaken all of my other people. The reason why is because right now all people are asleep, and that right there is the worst because they're blind, deaf, and dumb to the ways of this land. And so what we're doing here today is helping those other brothers and sisters wake up so that we can make this land better for ourselves and build our own community for separation, for integration, but separation.
So I am looking forward to, God said in His Word that we are all one body in Christ. So when we march together, then we can unite together. We just tired of those that don't know Him, and we are tired of those that just not recognizing that we all are one body in Christ.
For us to come together for justice and to make a difference in the community. We are tired of police brutality. We are tired of me specifically, our Black lives not being treated the same. Like wages are not the same. It's just not equal out here for us. So I'm out here for that specific reason. I want equality in the whole.
Among the people that are most affected by some of the bad things that are going on, who know what the good things should be and have the will to do it. So besides Arise, we have No One Leaves, we have the Vanguard.
I wanted everyone to know that Black Lives Matter is not about anything to do with color. I happen to have children of mixed race, and I'm married to someone who's white, and everybody just need to get this thing worked out about the situation with the police and the citizens, because the police lives also matters to me.
You know, our small steps are going to lead to big steps, and what I feel personally is that each and every one of us have a duty in this and a part in this. And some of us are more famous and have more people who know us and believe in us, and so they have their part to lead the marches and lead the people. And people like Zayda and I are in the background in the communities trying to just spread the word and help others to believe in the value of all human beings. Thank you.
And we find that life is more abundant than we could ever dream or imagine. So we search it out, oh God, by opening up your scripture, your word. And we ask, oh God, that you open the eyes of our understanding, oh God. Give us that peaceable proof that we call your word. Father, set us on fire. Those that got healed, those that got delivered, those that approached him got eyesight, got all. He always looked at them and said, be it unto you as you believe.
Yes, sir.
Your faith, daughter, your faith has made you whole. I mean, so when we first come to this salvation, we come as a dual, I mean, we leave that salvation, we grab hold of that stuff as a dual citizen. Right? We are saved, but we have this earthly vessel. And this earthly vessel have these old tapes. Right, but it has nothing to do with that salvation. That new man is perfected in Christ Jesus. Right, but he's just not strong enough to overpower that flesh.
Yes, sir.
Right,
yes,
but the power comes from the word. You shall receive power after that the Holy Ghost is come. So the Holy Ghost comes, you have the power, but yet you don't have the authority to speak it because your mind has these old tracks saying maybe.
You need that power. Awesome.
Bring in a verse.
Yes, sir. That's awesome.
2 Peter
2 Peter 2:21. For it had been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness than, after they have known it, to turn from the holy commandment delivered unto them. But it happened unto them according to the true proverb. The dog is turned to his own vomit again, and the sow that was washed were wallowing in the mire.
The Million Man March 20 years ago. But you stated there was a lot of stuff that came out of it. There was a lot of programs. Can you reiterate what came out of it? Now, I know things might not have been steady, but there's still a lot of people that started organizations that's working hard in the city of Springfield.
A lot of us benefited from the work of the Million Man March.
And not only that, 20 years ago, I mean, now you was the president of the NAACP. Maybe you might not have been in that position if you hadn't gotten the inspiration. Just not only that, but just other things that went on in the city of Springfield.
You know, when back then we organized around various issues of concern for our people. So we had an education committee that dealt with issues in our school system. We had a political action committee. We had a health committee. And when you look back to all of the persons that were involved back then, right now the commissioner of health for the city of Springfield is Helen Caldwell Harris. Before she was in that position, she was the chair of the health committee of the Million Man March Committee.
That's right.
We pushed for her to be put in that office during the Alabama administration.
Already downtown, we're going to be meeting us there. We're waiting now for a delegation, Brother Johnny and a delegation on their way now from the mosque. Once they get here, we're going to be ready to start our walk. What we want to do is we want to walk on both sides of State Street. So we're going to ask for a delegation to be prepared to walk on this side and a delegation to be prepared to walk on that side. We'll walk simultaneously. We'll hold our signs. We will chant. You all know some chants, right? Yeah. All right. Do we have any chant leaders? What do we want? There we go. What do we want? Justice for
Welcome back to the New Voice. I'm Andrew Keaton, co-hosted with Zephyrin Mongrove. Sitting here with Bishop Talbot Swan, Brother Johnny Muhammad from Muhammad's Mosque 13. So let's pick back up. What were some of the organizations that were involved in the march today?
Well, of course, we had the NAACP, the 10-10-15 Organizing Committee, Muhammad's Mosque number 13, Arise for Social Justice, Neighbor to Neighbor, Awake, and I know I'm missing some, but there was a whole plethora of organizations. Black Lives Matter, the Vanguard. Yeah, they were all represented out there, which which is indicative of the fact that though we're doing separate work in our separate silos, they intersect, and where they intersect, we can and we should come together.
So, you know, that's a lot of organizations to pull together. Now, how did that happen? Were you guys instrumental in reaching out to them, or once they heard that, you know, what was being put together, everybody started calling, can I get in on it?
Well, as you know, we've been organizing and mobilizing with the 10-10-15 local organizing committee, and many people from different organizations have been joining the local organizing committee to get on the bus to go to Washington, D.C. So we formulated committees inside the organization, which many of these different brothers and sisters became a part of. And from that point on, once we decided that we were going to have a rally and then we were going to have it with, in conjunction with the NAACP, we made contact with Bishop Swan, And from there, we just started talking and making things happen. And next thing you know, and I must admit that, you know, social media played a very good part in it. But it was a lot of communication, you know, dialoguing with one another, and, you know, this person calling that person. So we work together. And it just goes to show that we can work together.
Some of the areas we can focus on to make change. We already know the justice system, we already know educational system, but just to backtrack a little bit, what are some of the things that Springfield needs to move forward as a community? I know that's a broad question, and it's a question that just not Springfield, it's a question for the nation, but what are some of the things, and this question is for both of you, that Springfield needs to do immediately that we can make immediate change?
There's 3 areas that come to mind for me. One, we've got to deal with justice in the criminal justice system, and that runs the ranks of the police, the court system, and beyond. Secondly, we've got to have schools that properly educate our young people and prepare them for the future. It's a cyclical effect. When they're not educated, they come out, they can't get a job, it breeds poverty, poverty breeds crime. It all starts from one place and jumps to a next like a domino effect. And then thirdly, economic justice, economic development in our communities. You know, we had $70 million worth of economic dollars that came into the city, and you're hard pressed to find a minority contractor or any number of people of color that worked in any of those areas where those dollars came and were spent.
If we unite as a people, then we can cover everything that my brother just talked about. Because we have brilliant minds in our community, amongst us as a people. You know, there's no reason why we can't come together and take those brilliant minds and have them educate our children in the church, in the mosque. The hell with the school system. Do something for ourselves.
Right.
We have all these doctorate degrees, master's degrees, bachelor's degrees, all these names, all these letters behind our name, but we're sending our children to the devil's system. Why can't we open up the mosque, open up the church, and have those educators come and teach our babies right there? Malcolm said it like this: a man that won't treat you right won't teach you right. And we found that to be true.
It is.
It is true. So, you know, but our biggest problem that I found is that we're not united. Everybody comes to the black community and they suck from the black community. Everybody comes to the black community, open up businesses in the black community. Why can't we unite and have a mom and pop store and support the mom and pop store? Why can't we have a nail salon? We go to somebody who don't look like us to get our nails done. We are the #1 consumers in the country.
Everything.
Of everything. We don't provide nothing for ourselves.
They wanna read my mind, but I redefine what they consider delivery. I lead the time. You watch and wonder, this lightning, I'm chocolate thunder, breaking backwards.